Hello everyone and welcome to Daria Draws. Today we're diving a little bit deeper into the preparation of the palette, how to get the colors right, and how to transform the still life that you have right in front of you into a painting. Also, I have a quick announcement to make. If you would like to see my artworks, which not all of them are on the channel up yet, and you are in Italy, Venice, you can visit an exhibition from 16th of June to 7th of July, and I will attach the link in the comments or the description down below so you can book your tickets. They are for free, but they do need a reservation. So I hope maybe some of you will make it and send me pictures with my artworks as little digital postcards from Italy. So without further ado, let's begin the painting. For today's painting, I chose different colored lilies. I think they're quite complicated as a shape, and also there are lots of them in the bouquet, so that will be interesting to do. I feel like doing a painting, even from real life, isn't only about capturing the resemblance, especially when you're doing flowers or fruits, something that is non-human or not an animal that has certain characteristics, but rather you want to create the mood or an atmosphere. So you're basically in command, and you can change the colors and tweak them and change the composition a little bit or the shape of the bouquet however you like, and just use the still life that you have in front of you as a reference. I, for example, really like how the light wood looked against the white and pink lilies, so I really jammed up the saturation and decided to do like an ochre orange background, and so I'm toning the canvas with that, and I will be mixing the other colors later. Before you even start laying out the colors onto your palette, you have to understand what you're going for. Is it a cold palette? Is it a warm one? What could you possibly need, and so on. It's quite easy and it comes with experience as well. And for this specific example that I have chosen, of course, I'm going to need a few yellows, whites, some pinks, and of course greens. So I will be laying out the colors that will allow me to create those mixes. And of course, I want every color to have a warm and a cool version of each, and of course I want to have the light and dark versions of each, so I can create all the dents that I need. I can push and pull the forms, and of course create the shadows and lights. And as obvious as this advice is just check what you have going on your palette with the still life if you want the colors to be as similar as possible. As I've mentioned before, a bouquet is quite a complicated shape just because it consists of many flowers, leaves, and etc. So I find it easiest to start off by marking the silhouette, and that will help you to kind of identify the margins beyond which you will not go to preserve the composition, and it will kind of organize your thoughts later on. While you still don't have the individual flowers, you will kind of already know where to put them. I'm starting off very light with very diluted tones so I can erase them easily and they don't create visual clutter. So if you were to use darker, denser shades, they would be harder to work with. Once your margins are done, you are ready to kind of choose the lead actors for the role, and I have chosen the lilies that are closer to me. I feel like it's the most natural way to compose a painting, and everything else will be kind of following those lead flowers in terms of shadows, in terms of just color, and in terms of positioning and proportion. so everything will be kind of built around those 2 to 3 flowers. Now I'm starting to work with the color, and I'm just using it to separate the shapes from one another and give me more clarity where what should go. Now the next step is to add a little bit of more definition, so I'm redrawing the flowers but in a little more concrete way, concentrating on the folds that they create and the overall movement of the petals, so there is a little bit more detailing in there. Also, I'm adding the shapes like sticking out leaves, so anything that can cause any kind of imperfection in the composition. I really like that. It looks more effortless and definitely more natural, so all the sticking little bits I am adding as well. I like it when my flowers look very effortless and very light, so I'm also using very light strokes, so nothing is heavy-handed, and that way it just looks a little bit unintentional, but it is very much so. Also, you may notice that I am not using the same green everywhere. Some of the leaves are a little bit warmer, some are a bit cooler, darker and lighter, and so on. It's because I want to create additional dimension in that area, and of course to just show where the light is coming from and add even more shades of green into the painting. Even though the canvas is already toned in this orange ochre tone, I still want to add more brush strokes, make it look a little bit more alive, add those pink and green reflexes into the background. So I am just going on top with one more coat of that orange, using different brush strokes, and yeah, the reflexes will come a little bit later. After the main shadows, the main lights, and the main drawing is done, it is time to actually think about the resemblance of the flowers and try to make those petals move and create even more dynamic composition, and just really pay attention to some of the details in the flowers themselves. Apart from creating the flowers, you also have to think about the space between them. What does the bouquet look like inside between all of those stems? Does it have the background peeking through, or is it just pure green, and what kind of green? So those details will also tell the viewer that you kind of know what you're doing. You're not just painting a pretty flower and that's it. So you have to think about the entire canvas and the entire space around the bouquet. Here are the reflexes that I was talking about from the flowers and the leaves. I blended them in a little bit to make it look a little messier and not so polished. That's because I just like to create very vibrant and moving paintings. I don't like things to look stiff. It is also easier to work with a limited palette because the less colors you have, the more united your overall color scheme will be. And of course you can create incredible amounts of different shades just by using 4 to 5 colors from the tube. Here you are about to see the end result, and I will leave you to enjoy the aesthetic shots of the painting. But before that, I would love to hear your opinion. Would you like more videos like this about how to mix a certain color or how to get a certain shape? And if you do, I would love your suggestions down in the comments. Also, if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content from me. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.